When we see don't record. Correct. Share करो तो करा है
ग्रुप पर दिख रहा है इसकी गाड़ी और
Okay. Very good morning to all of you.
Good
Am I
afternoon.
audible to all of you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the fifth point.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Today we will discuss about the economics of production. That is the topic from Economics for Managers, MBA 103. Okay. So in the last lecture, I think we were discussed number of concepts. That is the fourth one unit, supply analysis. And in this context, we were discussed the law of supply as well as the elasticity of supply, is it? And then onwards, we were discussed the cardinal utility approach and ordinal utility approach too. Is it? Indifference curve and marginal rate of substitution that also covered in the last lecture. So this was the fourth one unit.
तुम्ही सांगितलं तर काय नाश्ता आहे दोन तुम्हाला पण
So economics of production. This is the unit number 5. So in this context, we are going to discuss the number of concepts. The first one, basic concepts, that is factors of production. Students, remember, there are these are the 4 factors of production. That is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. The land, which is basically requires for any kind of production, whether it is tangible or intangible, it requires a specific land, a piece of land. Without land, no any goods or services can be produced at any place. So this is a very essential factor of production. And the land considered as a constant factor of production. It cannot be variable. It cannot be variable according to the scale of production. Are you getting it? The land cannot be changed according to the scale of production. For example, the capital or the labor can be changed according to the scale of production. Okay. So, but the land is a fixed asset or the fixed variable of production. This is only one factor of production which is considered as a fixed factor of production. Then rest of the 3 factors of production are variable factors of production. Why I'm going to clear that thing? Because onwards, we are going to discuss about the basic 2 laws which are related to the law of variable proportions, and the second one is returns to scale. Okay. So in this context, the first one is land, which receives their reward in the form of rent. Whenever any person have a surplus land with themselves and wanted to give that land for the any kind of production, then obviously he requires or he demands a specific reward for the use of that specific piece of land. So that reward considered or categorizes as a rent. Okay. Second one, factor of production is labor. Any production system, any production process requires physical efforts. Is it? Now we are living in the era of technology, advanced technology, but still that technology requires human support. Without physical efforts, without human support, the technology cannot be played a key role in the production process. So the labor are required. The labor may be a doctor, labor may be manager, labor may be any engineer, that may be any teacher or any kind of baker or anyone. The all kind of employees that may be skilled or non-skilled are considered as a labor. Okay. And their rewards are given in the form of wages. The labor receives their reward in the form of wages. Then onwards, the third one is capital. Okay, the third one factor of production is capital. Capital refers it is long-term investment, long-term investment of the firm for the production process. The capital may lies in the form of cash. The capital may be lies in the form of machineries, raw material, and so on. Okay, the human capital also considered a capital. The skilled manpower also considered as a capital. Okay, so but in economics, the capital is with a money. Okay, so therefore the capital receives the reward in the form of interest. Okay, whenever any person or any entrepreneur or a have plenty of fund with themselves, then he gives the capital, gives the reward to other parties in the form of capital, and he receives the reward for that capital in the form of interest. Okay, and next one and last one, and that is very important factor of production, that is entrepreneurship. As usually, I have already told you in the last lecture that entrepreneur have a specific ideas, entrepreneur have specific concepts, and after the successful implementation of ideas and successful implementation of concepts, the entrepreneur receives the reward in the form of profit. Okay, so these are the four factors of production which are required for any kind of production of goods or services. Okay, so these are the first factors of production, the first one concept. The second concept is production function. Remember that the function means the dependency. The basic and very in general meaning of function is dependency. Dependency means the output is dependent on
स्लाइड
input.
चेंज झालं नाही सर.
एक शेअर Okay, is it visible?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then next concept is okay, factor of production. Sorry, production function. The function itself suggests the relationship between input and output. The output is totally dependent on input. Okay, so P stands for production, F stands for the function, and then L stands for land, and K stands for capital. Okay, the K denominated as denominated for the capital. So the production depends upon not only the land capital, but also the production depends upon other things also. Okay, but in that case, I have just considered the production is depend upon the land and capital. Okay, this is called as a production function, and it is suggests that there is a positive relationship between input and output. Okay, if there is a transverse line on that equal sign like that, then it shows that there is a no positive relationship between input and output. But it shows that there is a positive relationship, means when we increases the input, then obviously it will increase the output. When we increase the quality of inputs, then obviously it will also increase the quality of output. Okay, so in this way there is a positive relationship between input and output. It is called as a production function. There are number of functions in economics, like demand function, supply function, price function, and so on. Demand function means the demand depends upon price. Supply function means supply depends upon price. Is it? So in this way, there are number of functions, but in our syllabus, they have just narrated the production function. So the production depends upon the input. The agricultural production depends upon which are the inputs. Which are the inputs for the agricultural production? Okay, land. The agricultural production depends upon land,
Environment.
okay, environment, machineries, seeds, fertilizers, and so on, and management, all things, water and so on. So these are the inputs, and the output will be the food grain and so on. So in this way, this is the production function. Okay. The next thing is production with one variable.
स्लाइड चेंज नहीं आली सर.
एक मिनट. Is it visible?
Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the next thing is production with one variable. Production with one variable means it is a basic law. The law of variable proportion. It is a law of variable proportion, which means when other factors of production remain same, but one variable gets changed, then at the initial stage, the production increases. Then onwards, at a certain point, the production remains constant, and then afterwards, the production gets decreased. So, for example, here I have given you the same example which is explained in your textbook, that is table number 5.1, total product of wheat on 10 acres of given land. The land is fixed, okay, with varying labor. The labor is changed, okay. So what happened when on 1 acre land, if 0 labor employed, then there will be 0 output, total product will be 0. When we employed the 1 labor, then if, for example, there is a 10 quintal or kg or any something, total product is 10, then onwards, when we employed 2 labor, then the total product becomes 24. In this way, when we increase the labor one by one, then the total production also increases. But what happened? The difference between total product gets decreased. Like from 10 to 24, the difference is 14. 24 to 39, the difference is 15. Then from 39 to 52, the difference is 13, which means 15 to 13, it started to reduce. Is it? Then onwards 52 to 61.
Yes.
It is again reduced. Only 9. Again 61 to 66. Only 5. Which means when we use a given piece of land and when we increases the labor, then the total product increases, but the marginal product get decreased. Okay, the difference get decreased because the land have a specific capacity of production.
Yes.
Is it? The land cannot give us the 100 quintal of food grain when we employed the 100 labor on that specific piece of land. The land has a specific capacity of production. So therefore, when we employed the number of employees or labor at a land, then the total product increases, but the difference, that is marginal product, has decreased. So this is the law of variable proportion. In the next table, we will get the same idea that
just click somewhere in open space. You automatically. Or you click somewhere. Right click करना. And not.
First of all, we will look towards that table. Then onwards, we will have a discussion about that concepts. These concepts. The total production with one variable means, for example, we at a given land, the labor are increases one by one. The total product also increases in this certain range. Okay. So then what happen in case of average product? The average product, how can we calculate the average product? The total product divided by the labor. Okay. The average product can be calculated by total product divided by the labor. The equation is given on the page number 61. Okay. The third one line. Page number 68, sorry, 68, third line. Average AP stands for average product, and the average product is the average product, and Q is the total product. Okay. AP is equal to Q divided by L. Q means the quantity of production. Okay. So in this way, we can calculate the average product, which is total product divided by labor. Then onwards, the marginal product. Marginal product basically denotes the addition of variable factors to the total product. Or we can calculate the marginal product by change in the output divided by change in input. Let's see how can we calculate the marginal product. Here, the same equation. Please mute yourself. Those students are attending that lecture online. Please mute yourself. Please do not disturb to another students. So in this way, there is a land, labor, and total product. Okay. So average product, how can we get average product? 24 divided by 2. Then average product will be 12. 39 divided by 3. 13. 54, 52 divided by 4. 13. In this way, we get the average product. Okay. So how can we calculate the marginal product? What is the equation of marginal product? Change in output divided by change in input. Change in output means here, for example, change in output is here 10 to 24. What is, how many changes are? 14. And what are the changes in input? Only 1. The labor are increased by 1 only. Is it? So 14 divided by 1, 14. Okay. Here, in that case, 24 to 39. The difference is 15, which means the total product changed by 15 when the labor changed by 21. So 15 divided by 1, 15. Here again, the total product increased from 39 to 52. 39 to 52, and the labor are changed from 3 to 1, which only 1. The difference between 39 to 52 is 13. So 13 divided by 1, 13. Again here, the total product changed from 52 to 61. The difference is only 9. When the labor changed by 1, 9 divided by 1, 9. Is it? The change in output divided by change in input. So in this way, we can calculate the marginal product.
सर एक रिक्वेस्ट है, अशोक मंडल म्हणून जे आहेत ना त्यांना जरा म्यूट कराल का? त्याच्यामुळे तुमचा आवाज येत नाहीये.
काय होतंय मग सगळ्या पार्टिसिपंट्सला म्यूट केलं तर मग तुम्हाला काही क्वेरी असेल तर ती तुम्हाला विचारता येत नाही. आणि ते आता पार्टिसिपंटनेच ती लक्षात घ्यायला पाहिजे गोष्ट की आपण ऑनलाईन सेशन अटेंड करतोय, भांडे घासण्याचा आवाज येतोय, हा सिरियसनेस मेंटेन केला पाहिजे ना, तो डेकोरम मेंटेन केला पाहिजे इथं सगळ्यांनीच. हे तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना म्यूट केलं तर तुमच्या क्वेरीज काही असेल तर तुम्हाला विचारता येणार नाही, हो की नाही. त्यामुळे आम्ही सगळ्यांना ते अलाउ ठेवलेलं आहे. पण ते आपण आता पार्टिसिपंट
विचारता येतो सर लेक्चर संपल्यावर सर.
हो हो ठीक आहे ठीक आहे चालेल. ठीक आहे. So this is the curve of total product, that is TP. That shows that at the initial stage, the total product is increased. Is it? At the initial stage, the total product, which means at still till 39. Okay, the total product is increased. Then onwards.
नाही दिसत आहे सर.
सर प्रेझेंटेशन दिसत नाही तुमचं, स्क्रीन शेअर करा ना.
एक मिनिट.
ओके सर.
क्या हो रहा है?
दिसतंय आता? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Is this visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will continue in the same decorum. So in this curve, the total product is increased at the initial stage. Then onwards, it's showing the declining tendency. Okay. So then onwards, it gets stable, and then afterwards, again it's declining. Is it? The total product curve have 3 stages from 0 to 66, not 39, 0 to 66. It is increasing trend. Then onwards it remains same, and then onwards it getting declining. Okay, so in this way the total product gets increasing constant and declining trend. When we employed only one variable which is changed, then the total product at initial stage increases, then it remains constant, and then it gets declining. लक्षात येते?
Why it decline?
Yes, sir.
फॅक्टरचं प्रोडक्शन जे आहे त्या फॅक्टरच्या प्रोडक्शन मधले एक व्हेरिएबल आपण चेंज केलं. ठीक आहे, कोणतं? लेबर. लँड कॉन्स्टंट आहे. जेव्हा एकच व्हेरिएबल आपण चेंज करत जातो, वाढवत जातो, तेव्हा टोटल प्रोडक्ट जे आहे इनिशियल स्टेजला वाढतं, नंतर कॉन्स्टंट होतं आणि नंतर कमी कमी होत जातं, बिकॉज ऑफ द लिमिटेड कॅपॅसिटी ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. लँडला एक स्पेसिफिक कॅपॅसिटी आहे. तुम्ही 50 एम्प्लॉईच्या ठिकाणी 100 एम्प्लॉईज वापरलेत म्हणून 1 एकर शेतीमधनं तुम्हाला 20च्या ऐवजी 50 पोती धान्य भेटणार नाही. फार फार तर तुम्हाला 20च्या ऐवजी 22 मिळतील, फार फार तर 23 मिळतील.
अजून कमी होईल.
वाढेल 23, 23.5, 23.25, 23.75 अशा डिफरन्सने वाढेल. पण जो अशा ट्रेंडने वाढेल, पण जो डिफरन्स आहे एक एम्प्लॉईड ऍड केल्यानंतरचा, तो डिफरन्स कमी कमी होत जातो. आणि तो डिफरन्स कमी होत गेला की जो कर्व आहे तो डिक्लाइनिंग होतो. ठीक. Here I have shown you the trend of average product and marginal product. Okay, the average product according to our this table, here we have shown the average product, and here we have shown that the marginal product. According to these values, these curves are shown that kind of trend. Okay, म्हणजे जेव्हा केव्हा आपण हे 2 पॉइंट इंटरसेक्ट करतो, फॉर एक्झाम्पल हा किती आहे? 10 आहे. हा 10 कसा आणला? तर इथे फर्स्ट याला टोटल ऍव्हरेज प्रोडक्ट पण 10 आहे आणि मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट पण 10i when the labor is 1. Okay, when the labor is 1, then total product is also 10 and marginal product is also 10. Okay, next, for example, if the labor are 6, okay, then what is the average product at that, in that case? 11 and marginal product is 5. When in that graph the labor are 6, the average product is 11, marginal product is 5. Is it?
Yes.
So in this way, when we intersect these points, then we get that curve, that is average product.
Two sub questions. One is, if you see the initial part where MP is actually higher than AP,
Yeah,
then it intersects, and then MP is drastically changing with respect to AP.
with respect to average product,
So what
AP.
is the importance of first stage intersection? Last stage, that is point number one. Point number two, does it mean where MP and AP intersects, for example, labor 4, now output is 13, is it my optimal production capability?
The average product is 13 and marginal product is also 13 at the labor 4.
Does it mean if I have four now,
Yeah.
does it mean it is an
It is optimum level of production. It is optimum level of production because onwards both products, which is average and marginal products, are declined. Is it? So this is the optimum level of production. At this stage, you may increase the labor of any company, labor of any industry. When we get the optimum level of production, then that is suggests that that is the basic requirement of labor in the particular industry. If the total product and marginal product get decreased, then it shows that the labor are excess. And the first one thing is the marginal product is more responsive than average product. The marginal product get more changed than the average product. Therefore, it shows higher increasing trend than average product, and it is also shows the highest declining trend than average product. Here in that graph, we can see that when average product increases, then marginal product also increases, but it is increased than average product. Is it?
Yes.
But at the optimum level, after the optimum level of production, the marginal product more decline than average product.
It can go to minus, but not AP.
Yeah, MP cannot be minus. Sorry, AP. MP means marginal product can be minus because which suggests that the industry faces the financial losses. The employees or the labor are excess than their requirements. Okay. So this is the production with one variable. Then onwards, we are going to discuss about the law of diminishing marginal utility. In your textbook, from page number 70, the law of diminishing marginal utility or returns. Returns and utility are not the major difference. Utility and returns, which means when we have if a person is very thirsty, then that person is have a very utility in a water, is it? And that water gives him a returns, that is satisfaction. So therefore, the returns and utility are the same. So in this way, the law of diminishing margin and utility or returns, what they suggest that when other things remain same, the law of diminishing means declining. First of all, get the meaning. Diminishing means declining. Marginal means due to one additional unit. Marginal means additional unit. And what happened? The returns get declined. How? Then look at the example. What they suggest that other things remain same when a person takes successive units of commodity. Successive means continuously. There is no any kind of gap. Okay, successive means continuously. The marginal utility diminishes constantly. Which utility diminishes? Marginal utility or marginal returns. For example, if a person is thirsty, he takes the glasses of water successively, okay, continuously. The marginal utility of the successive glasses of water decreases. Ultimately, he reaches the point of satisfaction. After this point, the marginal utility becomes negative if he forces further to take a glass of water. Is it? Which means at the first glass of water, for example, here, at the first glass of water, the person will enjoy 10 marginal utility. Is it? The total utility will be 10. When the person is very thirsty, therefore he takes second glass of water, the marginal utility will be 8 because he already taken the first glass. Is it? So the utility reduced only 2 units. Then what will be the total utility? 2 into 8. Sorry, 10 plus 8, 18. When he takes third one glass of water, then the marginal utility will be decreased, only 6. The total utility will become 24. Okay, which means the person, when the person takes successive glass of water, so then the utility get decreased. Okay, that is marginal utility get decreased, and the total utility means the addition of marginal utility, that is increase at certain level. The total utility increase at certain level, but it becomes onwards constant, and then again it shows decreasing trend. If a person is thirsty, but he already taken 6 glass of water and he is satisfied, but still anyone force him to take 7th glass of water, then what will happen? He may omit. Is it? Which means it is negative marginal utility. Is it? So therefore the total utility becomes declining trend. So you see, this is the law of diminishing marginal utility or returns. There are some assumptions for that law. These assumptions are not included in your book. Just remember the assumptions. Which are the assumptions? The first one assumption is the utility is measurable. Is it? In our example, the utility is 10, 8, 6, 4. These are the measurable units, utility. Therefore, they consider that the utility is measurable. But basically, I have already told you that the utility is a psychological phenomenon. Satisfaction is a psychological phenomenon. We cannot measure that thing in the form of liter and gram and kilo and quintal and ton. Is it? But the economists were considered that utility can be measured. Okay, and the unit of utility is utils. Therefore, the first one assumption, they were considered that the utility is measurable. Then the second one assumption, they were considered that the consumer is rational, and the aim of consumer is to maximize their satisfaction. Okay. The third one assumption is very essential in case of law of diminishing marginal utility. A commodity is taken continuously, that is successively. Okay, which means if first glass of water is taken in the morning, second glass of taken in the evening, during 12 or 11 1 o'clock, and the third one glass is taken at the evening, and fourth one glass is taken at the midnight. So this will not give a specific successive trend. Is it? When the consumer start to consume any kind of commodity, then it should be successively. The consumer must be continuously consume that product. So then and then the consumer will have the diminishing tendency. Then the proper units of goods must be consumed by the consumer. Proper units of goods means the water must be clear. Is it? the water must be hygiene,
Yes.
the taste, then quantity, then color. Not only the water, but also whatever the commodity goods are consumed by the consumer, they must be equal, or they must be in the proper manner. फॉर एक्झाम्पल समजा आपल्याला जेवणाची भूक लागलेली आहे, जेवण करत असताना आपण एवढी भाकर दिली, एक नंतर एवढी भाकर दिली, एक मोठी भाकर दिली आणि एक खूप मोठी भाकर दिली, आणि मग त्याला सक्सेसिव्ह तेवढी कन्झ्युम करायला सांगितलं, तर कदाचित त्याची जी मार्जिनल युटिलिटी आहे ती डिमिनिशिंग होते, पण ती ऍक्च्युअल नाहीये. का तर ती भाकरीची जी युनिट आहे ते सेम नाहीये. ते सारख्याच आकाराची ती भाकरी पाहिजे, जेणेकरून तो जेवण करत असताना एक भाकरी घेईल, दोन भाकरी घेईल, तीन भाकरी घेईल, चार भाकरी घेईल, त्याची युटिलिटी कमी कमी होत जाईल. कधी? जेव्हा गुड्स या सेम असतील. ठीक आहे, म्हणजेच प्रॉपर युनिट्स ऑफ गुड्स मस्ट बी कन्झ्युम्ड बाय द कन्झ्युमर. देन द कमोडिटी मस्ट बी होमोजिनियस. म्हणजे एक बाजरीची भाकर आहे, एक पोळी आहे, एक ज्वारीची भाकर आहे, एक तांदळाची भाकर आहे, असं पण करून चालणार नाही. जर त्याला आपल्याला बघायचं असेल तर बाजरीच्याच सगळ्या भाकरी द्यायला लागतील, पाणी एकच प्रकारचं द्यावं लागेल, कुठल्याही प्रकारची जी काही इनपुट देणार आहे ते एकाच प्रकारचं द्यावं लागेल. ठीक आहे, homogeneous means same, the product must be same. So these are the certain assumptions which are assumed by the law of diminishing marginal returns. So this is the it is not included in our syllabus. The marginal utility is continuously decreased. Is it? Marginal utility is continuously decreased. So therefore the graph also shown the declining trend. Okay. Then onwards, production with two variables. In that case, we are needed to discuss about the isoquants. Iso means equal. Iso means equal. Isoquants, it is a curve that we will discuss further. Isoquants, it is a curve which shows same level of output. Remember the word, same level of output can be obtained by different combinations of two inputs, not only the one input. Now we are discussing about the two inputs. Further we will discuss about the one variable, that is labor. Now we are going to discuss about the two variables, that is labor and capital. Okay. The isoquants means it is a curve which shows same level of output by the different combinations of two inputs. How? For example, in that table, or we may consider that graph as well as that table also. Okay. That graph shows here the capital, and here we have measured the labor. Okay. On the horizontal axis there is the labor, and here on the vertical axis are the capital. Okay. When we employed 3 labor and 2 capital, then how much we get the output? 75. Is it?
Yes.
Again here, if we employed 5 labor and 1 capital, then also we get the same level of output. Is it?
Yes.
Here also, if we employed 1 labor and 5 capital, then it is also the same level of output. The same level of output can be obtained by different combinations of two inputs. Different combinations means 1 labor and 5 capital, 2 labor and 3 capital, 3 labor and 2 capital, or 5 labor and 1 capital. Okay, these are the combinations of two inputs. So in this way, the isoquants suggest that the same level of output can be obtained by the different combinations of two inputs. Not only
to increase our capital too.
Yeah. So which means if we want to reduce the labor, then we have to increase the capital, or vice versa. If we want to increase the labor, then we have to reduce the capital. What happens if we increase the both capital inputs? Then what will happen? the output will be increased. Is it? If he increases the labor as well as the capital, then what will happen? The output will increase. The same level of output cannot be obtained. But we want to get the same level of output within the available resources. Then we have to choice, or we have to select, or we have to employ our inputs according to the requirement of the production. Is it? When we want to produce 100 commodities, then we have to employ 20 labor as well as 80 capital, or we have to employ 70 labor and 30 capital. Is it? The resources are available, resources are limited, and within that we are required to produce the specific target. So that target can be achieved with the help of different combinations. Okay. So here in that graph, they have shown us that on the OX axis there is a labor, and on a OY axis there is a capital. The J point narrated that with the help of 1 labor and 3 capital, the optimum level of output can be achieved. Okay. Yes. L point also suggests that 3 labor and 3 capital, with the help of 3 labor and 3 capital, the optimum level of output can be achieved. Yes. Okay. So these are the isochronds: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. In this way, the number of isochronds can be drawn on the same graph. Okay. Are you get it? The isochronds are the curve which shows the same level of output can be obtained by different combinations of 2 inputs. Okay. So these are the isochronds. Basically, these are the curves. Are you getting it? Yes. Here there are again they have given us the next one table, that is ते लॉग वगैरे आहे. त्या लॉग वगैरे त्या डिटेलिंग मध्ये जायची गरज पण नाहीये. ठीक आहे. तेवढे कॅल्क्युलेशन तुमच्याकडे एक्सपेक्टेड पण नाहीये, का तर तुम्ही यू आर नॉट द स्पेशलाइज्ड इन इकॉनॉमिक्स. इज इट? सो तेवढं डिटेलिंग मध्ये लॉग इन ते त्यात जाण्यापेक्षा आपण ज्या पद्धतीने जातोय त्याच पद्धतीने ते बघणार आहोत. ठीक आहे. म्हणजे आपल्याला कन्सेप्ट क्लिअर झाल्यात की माइंड मध्ये सेट झालं की मग कसं एक्सप्लेन करणं शक्य आहे. ठीक आहे. म्हणून त्या अगदी त्या लॉगिंग मध्ये जाणार नाही आपण टेबल आणि त्या फॉर्म मध्ये. आता इथे हा जो पुढचा टेबल आहे, या टेबल मध्ये पण तेच दाखवलेलं आहे. ठीक आहे. आता मला सांगा 300 आउटपुट याच्यासाठी डिफरंट कॉम्बिनेशन्स कोणकोणते आहेत, कितीचे आहेत? लेबर आणि इथे लेबर आहेत हॉरिझॉन्टल. याच्यामध्ये ऑनलाईनचे स्टुडंट आहेत तेही सांगू शकतील. लेबर आहेत इथे आणि कॅपिटल आहे या व्हर्टिकल सेक्शन मध्ये. 300 लेवल ऑफ आउटपुट याच्यासाठी डिफरंट कॉम्बिनेशन्स ऑफ इनपुट्स कोणते आहेत? 6 capital and 6 labor. Okay. 9 labor
and 4 capital.
9 labor and okay 9 4 labor and 9 capital.
4 labor and 9 capital.
Yeah, on a OX axis we have measured the labor, and on OY axis we have measured the capital with the help of 4 labor and with the help of 9 capital.
But the corollary is also true. 9 is also.
Yeah.
9 labor and 4 capital.
Labor and 4 capital is also can be achieved. Again 424. In case of 424,
8 labor and labor.
8 capital and 9 labor.
8 capital and 9
8
labor.
capital.
Oh yeah.
As well, 8 labor and 9
8
capital
labor and
also.
9 capital.
8 labor and 9 capital. Okay, 122.
3 labor.
122.
122.
3 capital, 2 labor.
Okay, 3 capital. No.
Labor. 1
2 capital and 3
1
labor.
capital, 6 labor.
6 labor, 1 capital.
Okay, 6 labor and 1 capital is also the same combination of goods. Okay, 100.
9 labor, 2 capital.
Okay, next one,
4
100.
labor and 1 capital.
Yeah. 4 labor and 1 capital is also how.
Two
Yeah.
labor and
Right.
two
Two
capital.
labor and two capital.
Okay, the last one, 173.
6 capital and
Six
2
labor.
labor.
6 labor and 2 capital.
Yeah.
Uh, 3
6
labor,
labor and 2
4
capital.
capital.
So 4 capital and 3
First.
labor. 4 labor and 3 capital. 6 labor and 3 capital.
Okay. Yeah, very good. These are the isocons. Okay, the same level of output can be achieved by different level of different combinations of two inputs. Okay, so this is called as a isocons. So then onwards, we are needed to discuss about the marginal rate of technical substitution. It is essential. Why it is essential? Look at the board. Look at the isocons. The isocons are showing downward slope. Is it? It is not showing upward slope. These isocons, all isocons are showing downward slope. Why the isocons are showing downward slope? The answer lies in the next concept, that is marginal rate of technical substitution. Okay. The answer lies in that concept, that is marginal rate of technical. What is my MRTS? How easily one input can be substituted for another production process while keeping output constant. In case of isocons, the graph shows that the combinations of capital and labor, okay, that yield the same level of output. Okay. The slope of isocons indicates the marginal rate of technical substitution. How can we technical substitution? This is the equation: change in capital divided by change in labor, that is delta K divided by delta L for fixed level of output. For fixed level of output, that is 300, 100, 173, 122 and so on, which we have already discussed that point. Here there is a example is given. There are number of combinations, okay, of capital and labor. The first one combination tells us that there are 12 capital and 1 labor. With the help of 12 capital and 1 labor, the 100 output can be obtained. Okay. Then E combinations tells us that 2 capital and 5 labor. Okay. So the 100 output can be obtained. But while we put these values, in that equation, change in capital and change in labor, then we get the marginal rate of technical substitution. The marginal rate of technical substitution shows that there is a declining trend. Are you getting it? Change in capital divided by change in labor. How much the change in capital? In case of B combination, 4 change in capital. Is this? And in case of labor, there is only 1 change, which means 4 divided by 1, 4 by 1. Is it? Yes.
And it is minus 4 by
4 by 1. 4 by 1, not minus 4.
4 by 1.
It is changed. When it will becomes minus? When after 2, 1, 0, then minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Then it will show the minus here. Okay. We have reduced the capital. These are the combinations of inputs. Are you getting?
numerator is delta of C, right? Go back on slide, on your slide. Change in capital is the numerator.
Yeah.
So 8 minus 12 will be the change, right?
No. This is just the change. Number of combinations. One combination, which means this is the basket, which have 12 capital and 1 labor.
Okay, not
The second one basket have 8 capital and 2 labor. The third one basket, which means the basket are separate. This is not the continuous series. Okay. So here we have reduced the capital and we have substituted the capital with the labor. Why? Because we want to get the same output, constant output. So therefore, the marginal rate of technical substitution gets decreased. Okay, therefore, the slope of isoquants is reduced. It is started from left to right side. It shows declining trend. Okay. So here या ग्राफ मध्ये आपल्याला चांगलं समजेल. आपण 12 कॅपिटल होते ते 8 वर आणले. ठीक आहे. हा जो डिस्टन्स आहे हा डिस्टन्स आणि इथे आपण एक लेबर फक्त वाढवलाय 1 वरून 2 वर गेलं. ठीक आहे. इथे हा जो डिस्टन्स आहे आणि हा जो डिस्टन्स आहे म्हणजे A2 हा 8 पर्यंतचा आणि हा B2 हा जो डिस्टन्स आहे हा डिस्टन्स कमी होतोय आणि हा डिस्टन्स वाढतोय. ठीक आहे. पुन्हा हा डिस्टन्स आणखी कमी झाला आहे, हा डिस्टन्स आणखी वाढतो आहे, हा आणखी कमी झाला आणि हा आणखी वाढत जाणार आहे. ठीक आहे. आणि म्हणून हा जो आयसोकॉन्ट आहे हा आयसोकॉन्ट असा डाउनवर्ड स्लोपचा येतो. ठीक आहे. वाय आयसोकॉन्ट गेट्स डाउनवर्ड स्लोप? बिकॉज ऑफ द डिक्रीजिंग ट्रेंड इन द मार्जिनल रेट ऑफ टेक्निकल सबस्टिट्यूशन. ओके. Then onwards, returns to scale. The last one thing from the same unit, that is returns to scale. Returns to scale basically refers a rate at which the change in output leads to change in input. It is a long theory of production basically. थोडक्यात सांगतो मी. एखादी समजा इंडस्ट्री आपण सुरू केलेली असेल अगदी इनिशियल स्टेजला, एक स्टार्टअप म्हणूया आपण, ते स्टार्टअप सुरू केलेलं आहे. त्या स्टार्टअप मध्ये आपण सगळी मेहनत, आपली सगळे एफर्ट्स, आपलं सगळं इंटेलिजन्स, आयडियाज, कन्सेप्ट सगळं इम्प्लिमेंट करतो, रात्रंदिवस एक करतो. म्हणजे ही कन्सेप्ट काय आहे ते सांगतो मी. लॉंग टर्म सांगते हा, म्हणजे अगदी 15-20 वर्षांचा पिरियड. लॉंग टर्म म्हणजे अगदी 15-20 वर्ष. तर सुरुवातीला काय होतं, आपली मेहनत, आपली प्रामाणिकपणे मेहनत असते. काही एम्प्लॉईज असतील 2-3, तर आपल्याला त्यांना चॅनलाइज पण करणं, चेकिंग करणं हे प्रॉपर होतं. त्यामुळे जे आपलं प्रोडक्शन आहे, आउटपुट जे आहे ते सुरुवातीला चांगल्या लेवल पर्यंत वाढतं, इन्क्रीजिंग राहतं. आणि 5-10 वर्ष झाली की एक कॉन्स्टंट आपला जो काही सेटअप आहे तो तयार होतो. आपल्याकडे जी मशिनरीज आहेत, रॉ मटेरियल आहे, एम्प्लॉईज आहे, ते सेटअप तयार झालेला असतो आणि एका कॉन्स्टंट लेवलला आपण प्रोडक्शन करत राहतो एका 5-6 वर्षांनंतर. पण आपली इंडस्ट्री 15-20 वर्षांनी आणखी एक्सपांड झाली, की इतकी एक्सपांड झाली की टाटा बिर्ला यांच्यासारखी मोठी झाली. मॅनेजमेंट करणंही फार अवघड झालं आता. ठीक, एम्प्लॉईज वर चेक ठेवणं, सगळे माल प्रॅक्टिसेस आहे त्या रेग्युलेट करणं, तेही समजा अवघड होत आहे. तर अशा परिस्थिती साहजिकच आहे, एक 20-25 वर्षानंतर ते प्रोडक्शन जे आहे कुठेतरी डिक्लाइनिंग होणार. ठीक आहे. सो ड्युरिंग दी लॉंग पिरियड, at the initial stage the production increases, then onwards it gets stable, then after, due to the malpractices or any kind of things, the production gets decreased. So these are the 3 stages of returns to scale. These are the always every industry faces these 3 tendencies. But the third one stage, that is decreasing or diminishing returns to scale. That diminishing returns to scale is very adversible to the progress of any kind of industry, because every industry tries to control or tries to regulate that stage, diminishing returns to scale. What is diminishing returns to scale? In case of diminishing returns to scale, the output increases in the smaller proportion than the input increase. जेवढे इनपुट दिलेले आहेत त्याच्यापेक्षा कमी आउटपुट भेटतं. ही जी थर्ड स्टेज आहे ती डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न्स टू स्केलची असते. जेवढं आउटपुट पाहिजे ते तर भेटत नाहीच, पण त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त इनपुट्स द्यावे लागतात, आणि जास्त इनपुट देऊनही जेवढं आउटपुट भेटत नाही तर ती जी स्टेज असते ती डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न्स टू स्केल असते. आणि ही जी स्टेज आहे ही इंडस्ट्री प्रत्येक वेळी अवॉइड करायचा प्रयत्न करत असते. कुठलीही इंडस्ट्री असो, अगदी मोठी रिलायन्स असो, टाटा असो, कोणती असो, ती ह्या थर्ड स्टेजलाच अवॉइड करायचा प्रयत्न करत असते, तिथं जात नाही. ठीक आहे. आता आपण जर पाहिलं या एक्झाम्पल मध्ये labor and capital, okay, we have increases the labor in this way and capital also increases in this way, then we get the total output like that. Increase in the rate of output is at the initial stage is 4, 6 and then 8. So it is the increasing rate of scale. Basically there are three stages of returns to scale: increasing, constant and diminishing. The first one stage, that is increasing rate of scale, okay, which is shows 4, 6, 8.
Yes.
It is increasing trend.
Yes.
Then it becomes constant returns to scale. Then onwards is it's declining. When we employed the labor and capital or any kind of factors of production in the production process, then it shows these three stages. And every industry, every firm tries to avoid that third one stage. It still wants to get the constant returns to scale. It tries to get that first one stage at every year and every stage, but every industry, every firm will tries to avoid that third one stage, because after the third one stage the industry or the firm will face the financial crisis, or the industry will collapse, because the returns are very less than their inputs, or output is very less than their inputs. आपण जेवढे इनपुट देणार आहे तेवढे तरी आउटपुट भेटले पाहिजेत ना, काय ऍटलिस्ट. म्हणजे कोणती स्टेज ती मग सीआरएस. एक्सपेक्टेशन ऍटलिस्ट तेवढी तरी आपल्याला भेटली पाहिजे रिटर्न्स ऍटलिस्ट. इंडस्ट्री त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त एक्सपेक्ट करते, ऍग्रिकल्चर ऍटलिस्ट तेवढं तरी एक्सपेक्ट करतं. कोणीही थर्ड स्टेज मध्ये जाण्याचा प्रयत्न करणार नाही, अवॉइडच करायचा प्रयत्न करेल. पण ही कन्सेप्ट आहे, ही पण स्टेज असते, जात नाही म्हणून ती नाही असं नाही, ती स्टेज असते, जातात पण इंडस्ट्री. जर मॅनेजमेंट प्रॉपर नसेल, चेकिंग नसेल, पॉलिसी डिसिजन फॉर्म्युलेशन प्रॉपर नसेल, तर इंडस्ट्री थर्ड स्टेज मध्ये जाते आणि कोलॅप्स होते. ठीक आहे. ही that is the returns to scale. Okay, so in this way we have discussed the number of concepts, theories and the graphs, tables in the economics of production. Is there any doubt for online students?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
समजते सगळ्यांना? दिसताय?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Very.
हो सर.
So what's in the next slide? 21th number.
No, thank you.
That is graph.
21th.
21 is the graph, I think.
Okay. Sorry. This is
Increasing constant and increasing return graph.
This is the graph of returns to scale. It is shows increasing
Yeah.
trend at the initial stage, at the certain level of
1 to
output. Then it becomes constant during this
Constant.
specific output. Then onwards, after specific output, it is diminishing.
diminishing return.
तुमच्या बुक मध्ये 3 ग्राफ दिलेले आहेत. त्या 3
Yes,
ग्राफ
sir.
संयुक्त केलं तरी चालेल. ही जी ग्राफ आहे हे काढलं तरी चालेल. ही सोपी आहे, ही लक्षात ठेवली तरी चालेल.
Okay, sir.
ठीक. हा करते.
तर ही स्लाइड मिळेल का सर
हो.
ग्रुपमध्ये?
ग्रुपला करतो शेअर.
थँक्यू.
ग्रुपला म्हणजे टेलिग्रामला शेअर करावं लागेल.
हा सर चालेल.
Okay,
No
sir.
issue,
Thank you.
sir. We will collect from there.
तर आपल्याकडे नोट्स वगैरे मिळतील का पीडीएफ मध्ये?
पीडीएफ मध्ये नोट्स नाहीयेत, पण तुम्हाला बुक्स आहेत. नोट्स नाहीयेत,
Books available आहेत ना, sir.
बुक्स आहेत ना.
तर बुक्स तर आहेत आमच्याकडे. जर नोट्स मिळाले असतात तर म्हणजे स्टडीसाठी बरं
नाही, तुम्ही
पडलं.
आता ही समजा पीपीटी जर घेतलीत ना, किंवा माझे जे लेक्चर्स होतील त्या लेक्चर्स मध्ये ह्याच्या पीपीटी असतील, त्या जरी रेफर केल्या तरी त्या नोट्स सारख्याच आहेत. ठीक आहे, तुम्हाला फक्त वर्डिंग मध्ये तुमचं वापरायचं आहे, जे दिसणार आहे ना अभ्यास पण तुम्ही घेऊ शकता.
ओके सर, ओके, थँक्यू.
थँक्यू.
सर आवाज येतोय का?
हो, येतोय. बोला.
सर क्वेश्चन अँड एक्सरसाइज मधलेच क्वेश्चन येणार आहेत ना आपल्या पेपरसाठी, एक्झाम पेपर मध्ये?
हो. तुमच्या
हा.
प्रत्येक युनिटच्या शेवटी जे काही क्वेश्चन दिलेले असतात त्यांचीच तयारी करा, त्यातनच येतील.
सर मग त्याचे म्हणजे क्वेश्चन आन्सर्स अवेलेबल होतील का तुमच्याकडून वगैरे?
नाही, आमच्याकडनं अवेलेबल होण्यापेक्षा तुमच्या जवळच ते बुक आहे, त्या बुक मधनच तुम्ही ते रेफर करू शकता ना क्वेश्चन्स.
ओके, चालेल. थँक्यू सर.
सर टिल सेमेस्टर तेवढे सेशन्स मध्ये कम्प्लीट होईल का युनिट्स?
हा, होतील. 90% युनिट्स विल बी कवर्ड टिल द सेमिस्टर एंड. 90 to 95%.
ओके, थँक्यू सर.